Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll take a look into a player who's been putting on a show for years, but has he received the appreciation he deserves? Damian Lillard dropped 60 points in 3 games in 1 season, and the only other player to do this is Wilt Chamberlain. He's one of the clutchest players out there, but why don't people recognize his greatness? Today's topic is NBA legends and more on how good Damian Lillard is. But before we get into the video, don't forget to click on that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Will be an Olympian, has been all NBA. Why do I keep hearing people say Dame is underrated or slept on?
Damian Lillard seems to always have to fight for what is his. This year, Luka Doncic was picked as an All-Star starter over Dame, but of course we all know the All-Star game is basically a popularity contest. Dame has been carrying Portland for some time now, so let's see what NBA legends and more have to say about Dame.
Start with where the Pelicans and Blazers game ended last night. What time is it?
Dame time.
Dame time. Woo. You know when it's game time, it is Dame time, and Dame did it again. Another game-winning bucket from Dame Lillard. Jalen, what'd you see from Dame last night?
Listen up, I got a story to tell. Listen up, I got a story to tell. For anybody that's been paying attention to this program, you already know that we have felt about Damian Lillard. There are people that are just discovering his greatness right now. I want to introduce you guys to some B-roll. Do you remember when this took place when LaMarcus Aldridge was a part of the team and they were in the playoff game and Dame Dollar broke off the play in order to hit a game-winning shot? LaMarcus Aldridge left after that, but it was the beginning of Dame time. And he waved bye-bye like Guy to OKC. Paul George and Russ sent their whole franchise in disarray. And it's just unfair what he did to the Bulls a couple of times. Lean back on Lauri Markkanen. And so again, one of the highest paid players in the game, has multiple commercials, is an all-star, will be an Olympian, has been all NBA. Why do I keep hearing people say Dame is underrated or slept on? It ain't him or us, it's you for not paying attention the last almost decade.
Look at these numbers, Jalen. This season alone, he's shooting over 63% in the clutch. He has 82 clutch time points. Jalen, there are over 61 players that he ranks amongst, and he is number 1 in field goal percentage, number 1 in clutch time points. We showed you a handful of times that he has sent teams home at the end of games, but the numbers are there, the eye test is there. Dame Lillard at the end of the game will win the game. And the Trailblazers have themselves a year.
And I know people get confused every now and then, Jacoby, but let me tell you guys who the top 5 basketball players currently are in the NBA. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, and Dame Lillard. That's the top 5. Don't get lazy with the list.
How has Portland maintained this pace out west without those 2 key pieces?
Well, first I want to give credit to Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard is your favorite basketball player's favorite basketball player. That's who Dame Lillard is, right? He is a guy that all of us enjoy watching. We enjoy his approach to the game. We've enjoyed it since the beginning, since his rookie year. But also, it's been Gary Trent Jr., who's been playing great, stepping in for CJ McCollum. And then also, Enes Kanter has helped fill that middle with no Nurkic. So sometimes other guys have to step up, and Enes Kanter has been rebounding the ball like a monster since he's been kind of pushed into the lineup. And then Gary Trent Jr. has been playing great. So Dame has always led the way, but he's also had help from other guys on their kind of in their secondary group step up to fill in those gaps.
So unless you're a Portland fan, you may be new to knowing how good Dame is. He can shoot the deep 3, attack at the rim, and is the go-to person when you need that last shot to win the game. He's unguardable, and some may even say he should be in MVP talk this season. So let's get back to what NBA legends and more have to say about Damian Lillard.
And then can we start giving Dame some MVP credit? I mean, come on. He's without C.J. McCollum, who clearly was having an all-star year.
Yeah.
This guy has to be one of the most underrated basketball players over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, for what he's done for the city of Portland. I mean, what more do you want this guy to do? And then he's like, I don't want to go be on a super team. I don't want to team up.
But now be careful with that. See, I always so Giannis said the same thing. He doesn't want to go nowhere, but guys can come play there. Like, like Dave is like, if y'all want to come to Portland, cool.
That's
But
cool.
like, I'm not going to leave and go.
I'm not.
So he's not anti-super team.
No,
he's just anti-leaving to go to a super team.
Do you know what Damian Lillard is in favor of? Super max, which is what he got to stay there.
I understand. Even before I was playing, and, you got voted in, and the way it was broken down today. I still think Damian Lillard should be a starter. Based on what Chuck and Kenny always say, who has the better record and all that, and he's actually playing better. Luka has more assists, but nobody is feared in the game like the Damian Lillard guy. I'm sure he's not upset about it, but time in and time out, he's been pushed off this list. So I would have liked to have seen him as a starter. I'm not mad at how it went and how the fans voted and all that. It is what it is, but I would have liked to have seen him start.
That's a tough. That's a tough call. Those three, Curry, Doncic, and Lillard. I mean, come on.
I mean,
What about Donovan Mitchell?
yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell's had a great year too. But even when I was looking at it, I was saying those are the three that.
For popularity contest, Luka's going to win. But like Shaq said, the most fair man in basketball right now is Damian Lillard, I think, in terms of getting the ball in key situations. He was my preseason MVP because I thought he could do this, put numbers up. He was going to have to do that all year for his team to be successful. He's still, I would say, top 3 in terms of MVP voting. If you're that, you should be starting. That's all. There's no doubt about it that he is one of the top 5 basketball players in the world. And if you're not starting and you can't even start in your conference, if you're one of the top 5 basketball players in the world, that doesn't make sense to me.
Lillard for that final starting spot. Now, the players and the media vote had Dame ahead of Doncic. So I just want to say that again. The players and the media voted for Lillard ahead of Luka. But the fan vote counts for 50%. So that is what propelled Luka into the starting lineup. Meanwhile, current NBA players and the media panel, they account for 25% each. So, Richard, are the fans disrespecting Dame, or are they the ones that got it right?
No, it's hard. You're not disrespecting Dame by having. No, this is what I'm saying. You're not disrespecting Dame by having Luka. Luka's one of the stars in this league, without a doubt. So there is no lose-lose situation. There's no win-win. I will say this. These are the times where everybody was. The reason why we have a media vote and a player vote is because people were getting frustrated by what the fans were doing. This is a great situation here. Well, Dame Lillard has had a better season. The players see it, the media see it, and now the fans are like, again, Luka is one of the next superstars. He's 22 years old. Trae Young was a starter last year in the All-Star game. You want to see these young stars and young studs, but ultimately, is Dame more deserving? Yes. Yes, Dame is more deserving, but you're not losing anything by having Luka Doncic as a starter in the All-Star game. His numbers are that good. They're just not having a great season.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I was going to add, what you're saying. Portland is 4th in the West. Dallas is 10th in the West. So, I mean, that matters to, I think, players. So if you think, Dame Lillard is playing the best basketball, you see the numbers are similar, but his team is playing better basketball. So he's putting up these numbers in a better situation, and they're 4th in the West. And you're saying Luka's playing Luka basketball, triple doubles and all, but they're 10th. And I say to this, the only unfair thing that for Dame that he has against him is Luka has a country of Serbia in his corner.
Yes.
You're not going to win that.
We all know how great Damian Lillard is. We just don't talk about it enough. And we don't talk about it so much that we have taken this man for granted. And as a result, we find ourselves in a situation where it's LeBron, it's Joel Embiid, it's even Steph Curry that's in the conversation now, et cetera, et cetera. But we lose our way, and I'm going to put myself at the top of the list, blaming myself, all of this other stuff. And I haven't talked about Damian Lillard enough. #1 in the NBA since 2012 with clutch points. Clutch points. Last 5 seconds of the game. Don't get me started with the last 5 minutes. Don't get me started with Dame time. Don't get me started with him averaging 29 and how he's been doing that for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah, right? And he's got Portland 5th in the West, and there's no CJ McCollum who's missed game. No Nurse, no Jurkic. It doesn't matter. I don't even know who the hell. It doesn't matter. For too long. He is the real deal, and he does it time and time and time again, and we don't talk about him enough. Well, it's gonna stop today. It's gonna stop today. He's on that damn MVP list.
So, do you think Dame is underrated even with all the endorsements and commercials? Why is he so overlooked in the basketball world? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in to watch today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.